the Relevant Recruiter Show. Today, we've got a great show ahead of us. We're going to talk about how SourceOwls is making life easier for recruiters. And I'm joined by a pioneer in the recruiting world, the founding partner of SourceOwls, Dean Garamella. Now, Dean has over 3 years leading this groundbreaking company, and Dean has revolutionized the way organizations assemble their recruiting teams by harnessing the power of thousands of niche recruiters. SourceOwls provides an unrivaled set of recruiting resources, enabling access to vast talent pools essential for driving company success. Now, before Dean started SourceOwls, he is the founder and managing partner of Hiring Resources, and he founded that company back in December of 2002, where he introduced really a dynamic staffing approach and embraced remote work before remote work was a big thing. And he's always championing a culture of autonomy as well as unlimited learning potential. And we'll talk about how he brings that into SourceOwls as well. Now, today we're going to talk about how SourceOwls specifically makes life easier for recruiting agencies and independent recruiters, as well as possibly if you don't like business development, you might really want to listen into this show. And this is the last part of the intro. You guys were talking to me last week about my microphone, and I'm not one of those people that just listens and doesn't do anything. So I took action. I got a new mic. So I really need you guys to go in the comments right now. Let me know that you can hear me. Dean, thank you for being on the show with me today.
Hey, Donnie, thanks for having me. And it's an honor and pleasure to kind of meet you and your team here and your group and discuss SourceOwls and how we got to this point and what value we add.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to have you on the show. I'm really excited for my audience to hear what you have to say today and learn more in detail about this platform. If you guys are there, LinkedIn link is not live. Interesting. If you guys are on LinkedIn with me, got an interesting comment. So let me just check this myself. Very interesting. Thank you for that. So let's go. Let me deal with some technical challenges here for a second, people, where we get the show fully going.
It happens.
Pre-live. This event will start soon. Interesting. Okay.
Facebook loud and clear.
Yeah, it's on LinkedIn. I just don't know why hasn't gone live yet. It says join, start soon, joining live. Interesting, folks. I'm not sure what's going on the LinkedIn live side of things here. Facebook here's loud and clear. LinkedIn is not live. My streams say that they're all live, so I'm not sure what's going on, but let's get going in this event, and hopefully LinkedIn gets caught up with us here in a minute. And yeah, I don't know how else I can troubleshoot this thing. So Dean, I don't want to lose rhythm. We got some other people on here with us.
It's all good.
This whole thing here. So let's get this background. If you can give the background to our listeners of like, how did you get into the recruiting space? You know, we talked about hired resources. Give us a little bit of the background up until SourceOwls.
Sure. So I've been in recruiting. I'll age myself a little bit for about 20 years, and was an independent recruiter. Had my own, sort of book of business. Started out smiling and dialing like a lot of you folks, getting clients, filling requisitions. Did that for about 15 years or so. And about 5 years ago, we started Hire Resources, which was an independent sort of more communicative platform. We didn't have any technology or anything else, but we brought independent recruiters together. And we felt that we were stronger as a group than we were independently. We shared recs, we shared candidates. We all used a common ATS. We shared job, postings and things of that nature. That worked out really well. So we wanted to kind of bring that to the next level. So what was that? That was what we have today, which is SourceOwls. Now, SourceOwls is a proprietary platform that we built from scratch that brings job opportunities, urgent job opportunities, and our community of recruiters on one platform. And so that's overall how I got here today. I was a big biller. I was billing, anywhere between 250 to 350 a year. And I saw a huge void in the marketplace for independent recruiters that were struggling to get, clients and fill requisitions. There's a huge need for that, as well as, leveling the playing field on a lot of these larger companies. They have the tools, the resources, because they buy at mass. So when you're
Right.
buying one seat, it puts you at a huge disadvantage.
Yep. Yep. So how did you, what did you use from your previous experience, owning, a recruiting and staffing agency? Like, how did you use that to originally come up with the SourceOwls concept?
Sure. I mean, the SourceOwls concept was really derived from my years as an independent recruiter. So I knew what was valuable, right? I also knew what independent recruiters were looking for, because with higher resources, we were a collaboration of independent recruiters. We can all do it on our own, right? But
Right.
we chose to work together rather than working apart and separately, because mass scale, we were more powerful as a group. And that's really the same, I think, purpose of SourceOwls. Is we bring the jobs to the platform, and then those jobs are handled by account managers primarily. We do have agencies that also partner with us. So if you're an agency and you have jobs, if you meet certain criteria, we could put those jobs on, and you could instantly tap into our SourceOwl community as well. But it's not like each job is getting handled by the whole community. You have to actually ask for engagement. That engagement has to be accepted. The job poster will review your LinkedIn profile. So, we're focused on the right niche recruiters for the right jobs and all that kind of stuff. The jobs can be public, or they can actually be private. You can get exclusivity on some jobs if you build good relationships with either the hiring manager or our account managers. So there are a lot of different facets of what we've built into SourceOwls.
Love it. Love it. So I want to be clear so the audience understands very clearly. So you guys are actually out there. The SourceOwls team is actually bringing the jobs to the table for the recruiters. You guys are actually have the relationship with the companies that are doing the hiring, and you're basically doing that heavy lift, and recruiters can come in and work on
Correct.
the job.
We have the agreements. Good point. We have the agreements already secured. We have the relationships with the decision makers or HR within those corporations, and our account managers have regular meetings with them. The account managers are the ones that review the resume, submit it out to the client. And the account managers also are on your side, on the recruiter side, to lobby for interviews and follow up on interviews and things of that nature. And some of our account managers are actually recruiters on the platform for other jobs as well. So they know how important it is to get back with feedback and the feedback loop, making that all tight. And we also have administrative rights to look at everything on the platform. We know all the candidate movement in real time. We know how long things sit, and we have certain, acceptable timeframes for people to get back to submissions, to get back to engagement requests and all that. And if they go over that, we could follow up right on the platform as well.
Yep. Yep. All right, cool. Perfect. So if I'm a recruiter, like what types of recruiters should consider partnering up with SourceOwls? Like, what are you guys looking for? What's the criteria? And
Sure.
for people that are
Great.
listening, like what should be the indicators for them? Like, this might be good for me.
Great question. We don't accept everyone on the platform, Donnie, just because you have to understand how independent agency recruiting functions and operates, right? So what we look for is a minimum of 5 years of recent, I stress recent, experience in ideally agency recruiting, but we will accept a corporate recruiter if they've been in 100% recruiting position. If they were an HR generalist, that's not 100% recruiting, or if they're doing some other aspect of HR. But if they're in a 100% recruiting role, they have 5 years of recent experience. We look heavily on your LinkedIn. Make sure you have some good connections on LinkedIn. That you're an advocate of LinkedIn. That's really the criteria. And by the way, the platform is free for any recruiter to try and engage and work on up to 4 jobs at any one given time. You can earn for free. You could also subscribe and get additional percentage of the fee. And there's a lot of other things that we offer that we'll talk about here as well through the subscription plan.
Right. Now, if they join SourceOwls, do they need to work exclusively with SourceOwls, or can they keep doing their own stuff?
That's a really good question. I was an independent recruiter. I would never even think that the platform would be a success if I said you had to work exclusively on the platform. In fact, Donnie, not only that, but we take that a few steps further. All the tools such as monster.com access, which we have a huge discount versus the rack rate, Signal Hire access, which we give you free credits and you can upgrade those credits. Manitow, which is a full blown out ATS. You can use all of those tools that we provide, even discounts to LinkedIn. All of those tools you can use for your own use on your own jobs, or put it this way, on or off the platform.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you already kind of went over some of the requirements, the minimum thing, how do you have job requirement stalls or slow feedback, or how do you handle slow feedback from clients and things like that as recruiters start to join your platform?
Sure.
And engage?
I think one of the most frustrating things about being a recruiter and being in the recruiting business is having slow clients, and it frustrates us just as much as it frustrates the independent recruiters on our platform. So there's no silver bullet here, right? A lot of times initiative changes or the hiring manager is just slow to respond, but we understand the urgency of the recruiter is the most important part, and
Right.
we follow up on their behalf. And we also, once you're engaged in a job, communication is unlocked between either you and the job poster or the account manager or whoever that is. So you could follow up with them. We also have live chat support right from your dashboard. So you can contact our support and say, I'm not getting feedback, or I sent a note to this job poster, I'm not getting a response, and we'll follow up because we want our recruiters to make placements year over year, right? Because we make money when they make money. So it's advantageous for us to assist them in any way possible and give them the white glove treatment through that process. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, but
right.
we fight, we put on the boxing gloves with our recruiters to make sure that everything is followed up in reasonable time.
Right. Now, I know one of the biggest frustrations, and I think this kind of goes into this same topic here, is one of the biggest frustrations that I hear from recruiters is working on jobs, that they're not going to fill, right? Just wasting time on constant submittals that, hey, I'm busy, but I'm not making any money in revenue. What are you guys doing to kind of help support that? Because they're kind of in this open source kind of arena.
Right. And again, I'm a realist, and working on the platform is no different than doing it on your own, right? You have to test the jobs. You have to find the account manager that gives good feedback and that you click with. But at the same token, you have to submit good candidates, good tenure. They have the right pedigree, they have the right industry knowledge. They check all the boxes. So if you submit good quality candidates and you vet your candidates out, not in,
right,
and you're really focused on submitting good people, then you will make placements, you will get interviews. Contrary to that, recruiters sometimes will submit candidates with not very well tenured, not good pedigree, those type of candidates. Just like in the real world, the platform's no different.
right.
Those type of candidates won't do as well as ones that are well vetted out. And we have a ranking system on the site too, that the better candidates that you submit, the more candidates that are approved, the higher your payout. So it's an automatic ranking. If you're at a 50% or higher payout ratio after your 6th submission on the platform, your payouts go up by 10%. And then you could also do a subscription that boosts that another 10%. So we have a max payout on the platform of 80% of a fee gets paid out to the recruiter. Now, if you're on some other platform or you're working with another independent recruiter, you're probably only getting 50%. So in our case, you're making up to 80% of a direct hire fee.
Love it. Love it. So I think if you're a recruiter listening, the thing is if you can keep 80% and you would pay a business developer probably more than 20% on average anyways.
Absolutely.
It's actually it's a really good deal there. To
And
do
not
that.
only that is if, to get to the 8%, we have the subscriptions, which I'll go over in a few minutes, but we'll also give you, discounts to LinkedIn. There's some conditions there with LinkedIn, but you'll get 2 to 3 job postings on monster.com. I know, we all hate the job boards, but hey, if you get a low hanging fruit once in a while, it'll pay for itself. You can get business email address for those out there that want to start their own, independent recruiting firm, but don't know how to get business email. We could, tap you into a business email address. So there's a lot of other sort of perks, if you would, that we offer for a nominal cost of the rack rate of just Monster.
Got it. Got it. So not just are you getting the access to the job boards, you guys are also providing tools and resources to help them fill these positions more
Yes,
efficiently.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Signal Hire, for instance, we found that Signal Hire, you can get phone numbers of candidates and email addresses of candidates. One of our packages, you get 100 credits of Signal Hire, but we give even for free on the platform, we give you, I think it's 10 free credits per month to Signal Hire, and then you can upgrade up to 100 right on the platform. So the value, if you look at the value on our subscriptions, it far weighs the cost.
Yep. Yep. Now, I know you've kind of mentioned these things throughout here, but like just kind of very black and white, crystal clear. What are the guarantees and payout terms?
Sure, guarantees and payout terms will vary from job to job. Obviously, we want to keep those payout terms as small or as the guarantee terms rather as low as possible, and the fees as high as possible. So our fees are usually between 20 to 25% typically, and our guarantees are between 45 to 90 days. And we pay out within 4 to 5 business days after the client or candidate reaches that guarantee period. We send you out your portion.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, if you guys are listening to us live, feel free to go in the comments, drop some questions that you might have about the SourceOwls platforms, and I will certainly get to those. Going back into like the communication part of things, like are recruiters, like, do they have the ability to communicate with the actual job posters, or is that only for SourceOwls?
Say that again, Donnie.
Can recruiters follow up with the person actually posting the job?
Yeah.
Or,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Once the engagement is accepted, it unlocks communication. You can chat back and forth and send as many messages to the job poster with questions. We like to say, be reasonable with your questions. The job posters are, have, a team of recruiters. By the way, the team of recruiters, we throttle all of the jobs, so we don't put too many recruiters on it. If we see we're starting to get some traction with a recruiting team, we pause engagement. So in other words, we don't ask for any other engagement. When you build relationships with our account managers, they'll actually build smaller teams of recruiters and even sometimes exclusive jobs with a certain recruiter that has performed in the past for them well. So that's important to note as well, is that it's not a free for all. Everything is monitored. Everything is viewed from not only an administrative perspective, but the account manager's looking at it as well to make sure that those jobs are throttled correctly, so that we're not giving too much horsepower, but not too little either. So we look at how many candidates are active, and is this job, do we have the right candidate flow to this position? Excuse me, to this position.
Oh, lost you there for a second. I
You
don't know what
lost me?
happened. Yep, there you go. There you're back now.
All right, cool.
There we go.
So that's our process of handling that. And to me, as an independent recruiter, that is of the utmost importance that I have a good support mechanism and communication mechanism with the account managers, with the company itself, as far as administrative, stuff that happens. There's recourse for everything on the
Right.
platform.
If a recruiter's got a relationship with, ABC company and they've done a really good job, can that company then just start to work and reach directly out to that recruiter and not have any more competitors, or is everything always
Uh,
a open source of SourceOwls?
that the We have a whole platform where everything is searchable. So you have a profile within SourceOwls, that the job poster can go on and search for the recruiters that perform most, the most active recruiters, the recruiters that have the best candidate submission to approval ratio, and all different types of different filters that they can add in there. And yes, if they build good relationships with our account managers, not with the clients, there is a non-circumvention clause in
Right.
there, but they can build relationships with our account managers, and or if the client's working directly in the platform, and yes, they can build in their own exclusivity if they perform well
Right.
for that account manager or company. Absolutely,
Yep.
100%.
Now I can't imagine that you guys have every industry and vertical kind of rocking and rolling on there. Maybe you do. I'm just guessing. But like, what industries, for recruiters, are you guys looking for certain types of recruiters more than others? You guys have certain jobs that you have an abundant of more than others, or what does that look like with where the platform's at right now?
We That's a great question. We Right now we try to get a good mix of jobs on the platform. We have a lot of what's hot right now. We have a lot of civil type of stuff, civil engineering, sales, marketing. We have some pharmaceuticals. We have some business, type of services, IT, and other different industry mixes on there. So we try to cater to different industries, and we're always going out there and trying to bring in new opportunities in new verticals as well.
Got it. Got it. Um, all right, cool. So you guys have some fully dialed in and others that still need to expand. What is
Correct. And but my thing is with the recruiters, I always tell them, if we don't have your industry niche on the platform today, we send you out a weekly message that has all the different new jobs. It's like the top 12 most recent jobs that are posted. Keep an eye on that. When something kind of hits you, where either you're working on something similar or you have experience in those areas, come back to the platform, engage on that job.
Yep. Now I'd be curious, and I'm sure the audience is too. Like, what are you guys selling to the actual hiring company? Like, what is the benefit to them that you guys are selling? So, the recruiters that kind of understand, like, what is the value prop to the hiring company that you guys are positioning with your service?
Good question. Hiring companies always find it frustrating to negotiate with recruiters to get low or no submissions from that recruiting company. And they have to go through hoops a lot of times with legal, and they have to, get agreements in place, and then to only be disappointed. Our value proposition to the company is you don't have to go through that laborious process of constantly going through new recruiters. We have the recruiting community that is, constantly being analyzed and scrutinized. And if you don't like one recruiter, or they don't produce for you, we have other recruiters on the platform that you can tap into instantly under one agreement. So that's really the value proposition at the end of the day that we're selling to our community, as well as they have one point of contact. It's one account manager, so they don't even have to, deal with the technology platform. We'll handle that all for them, even though we do have some clients that say, no, I want to work with the recruiters myself, and that's okay. The system's built for that as well.
Right. Right. All right, cool. Now, I know that you mentioned the keyword platform. And
Yep.
platform means I need to learn something.
Mhm.
There's going to be some sort of learning curve. There's going to be buttons that I need to click that I don't know how to click. So what do you guys do? Do you guys like have training portal? Like, how do you guys support your users in terms of getting the best use of your platform? I mean, it's one thing to sign up, but then like to sign up, make money and get the maximum use of that.
Of
How are you guys
course.
supporting with
Yep.
that?
Every single week, for new and current members, we do a training at 1 o'clock Eastern time every Tuesday. So myself, my business partner, we get on a screen share. We go over the platform click by click. We get plenty of questions. We record those. We archive those into our FAQs. Also, if you get stuck along the way, we have the live, chat support. We'll walk you through it. The platform is really, there's a lot of things that it can do, but it's simplistically and intuitively designed. So we haven't had too many people struggle with the technology and the click portion. It's pretty simple to submit your candidates. Everything's well laid out in terms of how all that stuff is done, and we're constantly innovating and trying to improve the platform all the time as well.
Love it. Love it. So we're gonna show you guys behind the scenes here. Dean's gonna kind of give us a lift behind the hood here in a minute. So before we get to that, let me know if you guys have any other questions. Those that you are just hopping on, I know some of you have been reaching out to me on LinkedIn. Sorry, I don't know what's gone on today. We've had a glitch with that. Just didn't go live on there, and I don't know why. So happy that you're here. If you have any questions for Dean and I, please go ahead and chime in. But Dean, the topic that we came up with today is how SourceOwls is making life easier for recruiters. So I need to ask just very clearly, so we make sure that we hit the key topic here. How is it that
Right.
you're seeing that SourceOwls is making life easier for recruiters?
And to me, that's really a simple answer,
Yep.
Donnie. Is A recruiter is typically a good recruiter. You go out, you find good candidates. You're able to build rapport, interview candidates well for a job requisition, become that advisor person. But typically, a good recruiter is not also a good salesperson. They struggle to balance between running a successful desk and going out and getting new business. Because let's face it, if you have 3 or 4 urgent recs, that's, could be hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in front of you. What are you going to focus on more as a recruiter? You're going to focus on filling those darn recs from my clients that have urgent needs now,
Yep.
right? You're not worried about going out and doing my daily prospecting and making sure I'm hitting numbers on sales metrics and doing outreach and cold calling and all that stuff that we
Right.
hate. Well, by virtue of being on the platform, we cover that all for you. You pick your jobs, you build relationships with account managers, and you do what you do best, and that's recruit.
Right. And essentially that would kind of go into my next question is that's how you can help recruiters drive more revenue is helping them stay in their zone of genius.
I'm saying, say that
You're
last part
helping
again.
recruiters stay in their zone of genius.
Yes, absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree. Yep. 100%.
Excellent.
Persistence that wears down resistance in this business. Good recruiters will going to want to just go out, find the candidates, submit them over to the clients, follow up. And they also have good recruiter has thick skin, knows one rejection, I'm that much closer to making a placement. So, that's what they need to focus on is activity, and volume equals more placements. And sales weighs you down.
All right, cool. Well, if you don't mind, Dean, let's go ahead and why don't you share your screen? Let's take a look at the platform. And
Absolutely.
again, while Dean's pulling that up, if you guys have any questions or as he's poking around the platform here, feel free to go in the comments. And if I can access your question, I will answer it here live with you. And I think, if you are just getting in right now, we're talking about SourceOwls. We're talking about, how it can make your life easier for recruiters. Now, Dean, I'm gonna try to keep you under control here, okay? Because I know as the founder and the developer here, you probably are excited about every single thing that you've got going on this platform. So, what would you
Yep.
say are the, and we'll start here and we can go, but what are the top key like 3 features that a recruiter would want to know about this platform?
Thank you for keeping me in check, Donnie. Appreciate that. So I think that the key features here is, what is the fee that I'm getting? Number one.
Yep.
And you can see the fees are here. Now, this fee is 8,700, but if you come down 13,000, 16,000, in this case, it's 20. Oh, sorry, I had a little glitch there. 22,400. So there's different ranges of fees.
Right.
Our fees typically range between 10 to 20 plus thousand. And we have two types of fees. There's estimated and there's flat. Flat fee, you get what you see. In this case, if you fill this senior engineer PE position, you receive $22,400 your side. Okay. And this one here, this is an estimated fee. That means is based on your OWL status or your submission approval ratio, you get between 60 to 80% of the fee is sent to you, and we're estimating based on your OWL status. In this case, I'm an OWL status is true OWL, so I'm getting the maximum on this profile. But this is not a boosted profile. So in this case, if I boost it, I would get another like $2,000 plus for this placement. Okay.
Yep.
So that's first and foremost is what would be most important to me. How much am I paid? Right.
Yep.
What do your fees look like? Are they low? Are they high? Are they average? I think our fees are very, very aggressive based on the market. You can earn, a huge portion of the fee. I mean, $24,600 for a civil engineer. It's pretty good. This one here is another civil engineer. You could earn 20,000 plus. So that's one of the things. The second most important thing is communication, like we discussed before.
Yep.
Am I able to communicate? How difficult is it to communicate with job posters? What does that look like? Well, when you are active on a job, these are my active jobs here, okay, in green. These are accepted engagements. You could just simply select that and then send a message. It's going to flip over to another page now, but I can send a message directly to this job poster in real time. I click send, that gets sent out. Actually, it was to me. It was probably a job that I'm working on or testing. But that's as easy as it gets, so that you can communicate directly to the account manager or job poster for questions, right?
Yep.
And then, thirdly, I think that, and you said two, but I'm going to give you three because there's so many things that I could walk you through here. But thirdly, how active is this job, right? Like this job, if you scroll over it, you get a tooltip. This is the total positions available, and this one here, this is the submission. So no one's been submitted to this job or active, I should say actively interviewing or active for that position. This one has 2 submissions that are in active status. That means they're in either review status or they're interviewing. This one's 0. So you can see
Right.
that, there's a lot of positions here that don't even have any submissions.
Right.
And there's some that do have some activity to them as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Um, so one other thing I'm curious about is you mentioned that each recruiter has their own profile that they kind of build out for themselves. What does that look like?
That's a great question. I'm going to click on that right here. This is my test profile. So this is my picture here. You can put your logo, your picture, whatever the case may be. This is what we call this little check mark is a verified recruiter. So if you're active on the platform, your submission ratio is over 50%. You meet certain criteria, you become a verified recruiter. Also, if you subscribe, you get that automatic sticker there. my LinkedIn profile that everybody's going to see on the platform as well as here. You could put in a bunch of information about yourself. You put your location, your industry type. So I can go in as a job poster and see, okay, I have an accounting position I need to fill. I need to send this specific job to accounting recruiters. I can filter through our database and find the accounting recruiters that I want to target and ask if they're available to work on my job. I also have my statistics. I know that I've submitted out 37 candidates. I have 17 approvals, 14 declines. Again, this is just my test one.
Right.
I have 0 hires on this test account, but I'm at a 54% approval ratio. So that means I'm over 50%. I'm getting the maximum payout on the platform. And then on the other side, which if we had more time here, I'd show you how the actual job poster can look through all of these profiles. It comes out in big square boxes. It gives, some details. They then select the people that they want to send these jobs to and ask for engagement on these.
If you want to pull that up, I think we still have some time. I don't know what that lift is like, but feel free to pull that up and share it.
Yeah, hang on one second. I just have to log out and then log back in. Log out.
And while he's doing that, you guys can take a look. I've included the link to SourceOwls in the chat channels here, so go ahead and visit SourceOwls when you get a chance here. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in this chat. Thank you to those of you that hopped over from LinkedIn to join us on YouTube or Facebook. And for those
all right, here we go. I'm going to click on this section here, Donnie.
Okay.
Now, this is from a job poster perspective. So you're kind of getting the inside track on what they see on the back end. So when they post a job, we ask them to select, the recruiters that they've worked with, or find recruiters within their niche that they want to ask for engagement with. And these are some of our recruiters. And this is actually a live database. So we'll take Andrew here. And I know Andrew is a great guy. He has a 5-star rating. He works in all states, in all industries, but he does renewables, research, and retail are his focus. You as a job poster, I can ask this gentleman a question. I can request engagement on my job. He submitted out 10 candidates. All this information is displayed right to the job poster. Okay, so each one of our team gets one of these pages, and as a job poster, I can really go out there and find, engage, and build a small team of recruiters that I like. I can save different recruiters to my favorites with the heart function, all of that right in our platform.
Perfect. This is pretty impressive, man. This is cool. Taking a deep dive, look under the hood here.
Yep. So that's and I don't want to go too far on that side, but that's how you, as a job poster, you actually interact in the platform.
Now, is there anything else that you want to share that we haven't discussed at this point?
I think it's good to note that let's see, on this side too, that you have full access to Signal Hire. Signal Hire is a passive sourcing tool. It's kind of like using LinkedIn. It's not as expensive as LinkedIn. We give you some credits to pull some phone numbers and email addresses and all that kind of stuff. It's not our product, so we have a light support on it, but you could find candidates. You could also search on LinkedIn and then add those candidates right from LinkedIn to your Signal Hire buckets, and then contact them via email, phone number. And this is all integrated right into our product as well, which is really cool. Like, you don't have to go anywhere. It's integrated right in.
Yep.
And then the other thing is the My Plans section, which is all of our subscriptions. So this is what value we offer for free. So like I said, I suggest, you come in here, you get familiar with the platform, you start to feel it out. ask questions, join our training, see our superior support, all that kind of stuff. And you could do all that for free, and you get 10 credits to signal hire. But you could earn placements, submit candidates, all that kind of stuff for free, no obligation. And then you could also upgrade, and you could also upgrade to these two plans here and get an extra 10% boost on whatever your fee is. So, and the system's smart enough, so if you choose that plan, your fees will automatically increase by 10% based on the level you are. We have 3 levels. We have an owlet, which is our lowest level. We have an elf owl, which everybody starts at. And then we have the true owl. And those rates are 50, 60, and 70% of a direct hire fee. And then the flat fees are adjusted accordingly as well. So that's how you get to those sections.
Excellent. All right, cool. Anything else on the platform you want to share?
There's a ton, but I want to respect everyone's time and everything else. We have a Facebook community in here. We have instant submits. You submit candidates simply by clicking on this and filling out this candidate sort of questionnaire. Every job poster on the platform must put in 3 with a maximum of 10 questions that you need to answer when you submit candidates, because they're going to use that information to see how well your candidates match up against the job specification. There's active engagement section. We'd also have instant submits. So if you have a candidate already, the write-up's already done, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a data engineer that fits this position perfectly. Through our subscriptions, you can purchase instant submits that come with the subscriptions, and you could go around the requesting engagement and submit that candidate directly. So one other thing is, Donnie, when users are on the platform, they need to explain why they're a fit and why they should be selected to be on this search. Like I have, I filled data engineering roles. I have a specialty there. They're going to look at your LinkedIn profile. So not everybody gets selected on every search.
Got it.
All right.
All right, cool, man. Well, thank you for sharing all of that. Excellent stuff. Excellent platform. What about, I'd be curious, and this kind of came up to me, is like, if I'm joining it for free, do you guys have like a fast track? Like, what would be the advice to somebody say, hey, if you're going to join SourceOwls, do these 3 things if you want to be successful on it?
That question comes up often. Like, what do I need to do to be successful? I think it comes down to, like I mentioned in the beginning of this cast, is it works the same as real life. Like if you're an independent recruiter, companies only want to hire and pay fees for superior candidates that they cannot find on their own. So, remember, quality prevails. Send quality candidates, and we track all that on the platform as well. Activity, just like in the real world, you have to be active to make placements. Don't think that you're going to submit out 3 or 4 candidates and you're going to make a $20,000 fee. That just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in the real world. It doesn't happen on the platform. Persistence wears down resistance. Be active. Get involved. Get involved with the community. Ask questions. Use best of breed techniques to find and attract those candidates. Do good interviews. Vet people out, not in. These are just the same techniques a good recruiter uses to make placements on their own is the same exact techniques is what makes someone successful within the platform.
Right.
There's no difference.
Right.
So that's my quick boiled down version of what makes someone successful with SourceOwls.
Right. Now we've gone over a lot of different things, today, but just to kind of give like a last pitch, so to speak, for the recruiters that are listening here, like why would you say a recruiter should join SourceOwls?
Simply, if you have enough business right now, you still want to join SourceOwls because you're going to find jobs that emulate those jobs, and you're going to be able to cross-pollinate candidates on and off platform. And that's superior, great. You'll make more. Even if you made 1 to 2 more placements a year, you're adding revenue to your bottom line at minimum, right? Secondly, if you're not good at business development, we are a premier platform for you to leverage and make more placements as a result, because you're going to be diving into your searches, giving it your all. There's going to be times when you're not going to have job orders to work on. You can work on them in tandem with and fill in gaps on your desk, right? Also, the tools that we provide with our subscription model, you can leverage those tools on and off our platform. So, ATS, if you're not using ATS, you should. Manitou is a good option, as well as, if you don't have LinkedIn, we can give you a discount for your first 12 months, and the monster postings, etc. The value there is huge. So there's a lot of reasons why a recruiter should consider using SourceOwls. My thing is, why wouldn't you want to use SourceOwls, right? And I can't think of any reason why someone wouldn't want to use SourceOwls other than they want to restrict themselves from a platform that can, make a few more placements a year at minimum to their annual billings.
I love it. I love it. So if you're listening with us live right here, there's going to be a link to SourceOwls somewhere around, either in the description, in the chat, somewhere. Click that link. Go check out SourceOwls. You can sign up for free today. Dean, what are your last words for our audience here today?
Last words are, even if you're looking for a direct hire position, we may be able to help you. We do have a whole nother division that we're ramping up right now, and that's placing recruiters in direct hire positions as well. So for your independent recruiter, for your corporate recruiter, we really try to offer you a complete package to make you more successful. And I'm a big believer in white glove treatment. You will get answers to all your questions. We want to support you. Your success is our success, and vice versa. So, join our community, join our growth and our success, and let us boost this thing into 2024 together.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Garamella, the CEO and founder of SourceOwls. Dean, thank you so much for being here on the show today.
Thank you, Donnie.
And dropping all the information about SourceOwls and the value. Guys, this is a no-brainer. Gals, this is a no-brainer. No risk in trying. I think this is an excellent platform for you guys to check out.
And thanks everyone for spending the time with us today. If you have any questions, you can go to our site, ask us your questions or anything else. We'll be glad to get back to you, or just click on live support, and if we're available, we'll answer you live. So thanks for taking the time, and let's make some placements.
Sounds good. We'll close it down with that. Thank you, guys. We'll be back next week with another live episode. Hopefully, we'll be working on LinkedIn this time. But thank you for all those that jumped back over, and we'll see you guys all next week for another live episode. Dean, thanks again for being here with us, and we'll see y'all soon.